I am Pinakin Dave, Deputy General Manager from BAC, and we are here for a pre-launch session on steel futures. Before we start the event, I am thankful to all the participants and the attendees for sparing time and joining us for this pre-launch webinar on steel futures at BAC. Today, with us, we have elite veterans and speakers from the industry who needs no introduction, but just for the betterment of everyone, I'll just try to introduce them. Uh, so we have Mr. Nikunj Turakia, who heads the Standard Group, which has diversified activities. He's a philanthropist. He's founder president of SUFI, that is Steel Users Federation of India, General Secretary of CAMIT, Chamber of Associations of Maharashtra Industry and Trade, and have been very vocal and very visible uh, across various forums. And whenever there is a urge or a need to represent the industry or for the betterment of the trade, I have seen him being there, always supportive for the industry. We have Shri Rajiv Vyas, who is founder and managing director of Benar Overseas, India's leading steel trading house with 3 decade long experience in international steel trade, with some of the top names like Nippon Steel, Bao Steel China, JSW, and many more. He's a postgraduate in economics and management. Rajiv ji is also again a regular speaker in various steel conferences world over, and he's the vice president of SUFI. Uh, we also have Shri Hemant Parekh. Uh, Hemant Parekh, Shri Hemant Parekh was the past president of Bombay Metal Exchange of BME. I've been knowing Hemant Bhai from more than 10 years now, and he has been very instrumental as far as launching the futures market in India is concerned. Right from the day of 2003 4, when non-ferrous metals were launched on the other exchanges, and he has been on various member advisory board of exchanges and on the SUFI as well. So his rich experience in terms of hedging and the stakeholders will has been a lot of value addition for us. uh, when I talk about BAC and SUFI, BAC have we had a formal association with SUFI almost a year back, and when we met, we had a deliberation and several round of deliberations in terms of how to design a contract, what should be the betterment of the trade, and how we can derive a trade which can actually lead to price discovery and a better platform for the users and the hedgers to hedge their risk. And with lots of deliberations, we have come out with a contract we applied to the regulators, and I'm really thankful to the regulators for approving it. And very soon, we intend to launch it. So these series of webinars are in continuation with that, so that we have that awareness spread amongst the right stakeholders for the right people, and who can come forward and hedge their risk on the platform. So to start with, Anil, can we have the presentation? Anil, Meera, can we have the presentation? So this is just a brief of what steel billet futures we intend to launch. So there are various other products also which we intend to launch at future dates. So we started ahead with steel billets. Next, next. So this is a brief of what value proposition BSE brings in when it comes for the actual stakeholders. So BSE is India's first universal exchange, a trusted brand name for over more than 144 years. It has a huge network of more than 1,400 brokers with more than 4.20 crore of unique investors or unique client codes which are registered with BSE. As far as technology is concerned, we have the fastest exchange right now with the speed of 6 microseconds. So when I say this, it means that when a person trades, he gets the confirmation within a span of 6 microseconds. It is much, much, much faster than given the present exchanges in India. A very robust and secure capital efficient counterparty, which is Indian Clearing Corporation Limited, or clearing entity, which is again a subsidiary. It is AAA rated, and we have a very robust mechanism for equity and currency segments and commodity segments. And we are the first exchange in India and second in the world to obtain ISO 9001 2000 certification for the risk and surveillance measures that we adopt for managing the risk. Next. So when I was, as I mentioned earlier, the brief on how MOU was signed with Sufi Steel Users Federation of India. At BSc, we believe that any product that has to be launched or that should be launched has to be along with the stakeholders and has to be framed by the stakeholders. So we had informal agreement and MOU signed with Sufi, and then, as I said earlier, also we had several round of discussions on how to make the trade better and what would be the right practice for the trade as well. So again, for that, I'm sincerely thankful to Shri Nikunj Bhai and for the wholehearted support his entire team has given to us. He has been there at any hour, just a call away, and he has been very, very receptive and very, very vocal about the thoughts and the ideas which we had discussed. Next. So this is a brief, the product working group meeting that was held at the BAC. And before this meeting, we had several round of discussions at the office of Nikunj Bhai and various other places. So before deliberating on the contract, there were 4 5 rounds of meeting, and after that, we had this product working group meeting wherein the deliberation was actually uh, made for the contract formation and the risk management system. Next. So this is a brief on what the product specification is all about. So the symbol will be Sufi BLT. So as it is named after Sufi billets, since it is billets, is named after Sufi. So Sufi BLT. Contract would be a monthly contract, and the first it will start at the first day of the launch, and the last working day, that is the 30th, will be the last month uh, of the trading. So the contract shall expire on that. Trading period would be from Monday to Friday. Time would be Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 11:30 and 11:55. Trading unit, 10 metric ton. Quotation or the base value would be rupees per metric ton. The price quote would be X Raipur, exclusive of GST and other levies, but inclusive of basic customs duty and other related duties in terms of imports. Maximum order size would be of 500 metric ton. Tick size, which is the most important thing, would be of 10 rupees. So daily price limit. Now this is nothing but the DPR would be the initial slab would be of 4%, and thereafter it would be enhanced slab of 2% thereafter. So after that, cooling period of 15 minutes will be there for further relaxations. Initial margin, it will be in all accordance with the SEBI circular as prescribed by the regulators. Minimum period of risk, again as prescribed by the regulators. ELM, that is extreme loss margin, would be 1%. Next. So in case if there is extra movement, extra volatility, will have special margins which will be imposed on either side of the volatility depending on where the market moves. Maximum allowable position. Now this is most important part for any hedger, any trader or a physical stakeholder. Individual client will be 1,20,000 metric tons for all the steel billets contracts combined, and or 5% of the market wide open position, whichever is higher for all the steel billets contract combined together for the individual client. And for a member, collectively, for all clients, it would be 6 lakhs metric ton or 20% of the market-wide open position, whichever is higher. Delivery unit would be 10 metric ton, same of the lot size. Quantity variation. So in case if one is intending to deliver, the quantity variation is allowed up to plus or minus 5%. Delivery period margin 3 plus 5 days 99% value at risk, that is VAR of spot price volatility, or 20%. Delivery centers, Raipur is the delivery center, and the warehouse can be in the radius of 50 kilometers from the municipal limits of Raipur. Quality specification, the most important part. Carbon steel billets, it must confined to the BIS 2830 is to 2012 standard for carbon steel grade A with designation of C15 or C18 or C20, and 2831 is to 2012 standard for steel grade A with designation of C8 or C15 or C22 for re-rolling into general structural purpose. The billets must be free of harmful elements, and marking each piece should be marked with heat number individually and accompanied with a mill test certificate. Size 100 into 100 mm. Also deliverable is 120, 130 or 150 mm. Length should be 6 meter plus or minus 150 mm. Next. Final settlement price, how the contract price will be derived on the expiry. So it would be nothing but the spot pulling price of last 3 days prior to the expiry, and a simple average of last three spot prices, and will derive with the final settlement price. Delivery logic is compulsory delivery. Staggered period is last 5 working days. Next. So this was a brief of what BAC contract specification is all about. This is just a comparison of BAC versus the other available exchanges right now. As I said earlier, in our contract specification, quality specification, our quality has to be conformed to BIS standards, 2830 2012 standards for carbon steel grade, and or 2831 2012 standards. Marking of each piece to be marked with heat number individually and accompanied with mill test certificate. Size should be 100 into 100 mm. Also deliverables are 120, 130 and 150 mm, and length should be 6 meters. In addition to this, on the other exchanges, the size can be 100 into 100 or 110 into 110, and 125 to 125 length also. 6 meters plus and minus of 150 mm. In line, it is also in lines with what the BIS specification is all about. Thanks to Nikunji, because we had several discussion on this point as well when we were framing this, and we very well remember how different it was with the other exchanges.
So he
And
was so fat. He was as fat as a pig.
I
Description
request
is there,
the
and
other
then you write his character sketch out line for him.
I
And
request the other
somebody,
participants.
Doesn't matter, but I mean, you should have generally started with that. So
I request all the participants to keep their phones on mute. So this is a brief on the contract specification. Now we move on to the delivery and settlement procedure of how.
बाल्टी बाल्टी साबु भरी थे पेड़ों वो जो है ना बराबर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट નથી અરે પણ કોન્સન્ટ્રેટ કરવું છે ને સાફ કરતું છે બરાબર તે પાણી ની જેમ લાગ્યું એટલે તો બધું ખોલી નાખ્યું અંદર
Can you please mute yourself?
Hemant bhai Puta, I can hear your voice. Can you mute yourself?
sorry yeah please
So we move on to the delivery and settlement procedure. Next. Hemant bhai, Yeah, it's not
Heman
on
Bhai
mute.
Bhuta.
I'm off the screen. I'm trying to get into the screen, please.
No. You kindly mute yourself. I think Pinakin Bhai, you can continue. And can the admin mute everybody?
Meera, kindly mute
Anil,
everyone. Meera, Anil.
Mira, can you mute everyone, please?
Yes, doing it, sir. We've already muted everybody.
But Sir Bhuta is still open actually, he's not muted.
Next.
Yeah, Pinakin Bhai, continue.
Yeah. So as I mentioned in the contract specification, the delivery logic of the contract is going to be compulsory delivery. The tender period or the delivery period would be last 5 trading days, including the expiry day of the contract. So for example, 30th is the expiry day of the contract, then 30th, 29th, 28th, 27th, and 26th. The tender period delivery period starts from this. Now, the significance of this tender period delivery period for the better understanding is that we can have deliveries in these last 5 days of before the expiry. So one can give and take deliveries during these 5 days. Buyer's intention, buyer shall give the intention of taking delivery on any tender day till 5 p.m. except for Saturday, Sundays or a trading holiday. Same, a delivery intention by seller. The seller can give the intention of tendering delivery on any tender day during tender period till 5 p.m. Same. So when I said this, it means that a buyer or a seller can actually get into deliveries during the last 5 days and fulfill the obligations of delivery, giving or taking either side. So dissemination of the information on the tender delivery by the seller and the buyer, BSE and our clearing entity ICCL will inform members through the website regarding delivery intentions of the seller and the buyer members by 5:30 p.m. on the tender days. Tender period margin. Now there is a 4% incremental margin for last 5 days in the tender period delivery period. So, say for example, before the start of tender period delivery period, if the margin applied is say 7%, on the start of the first day, the margin will increase from 7 to 11. Then from 11 to next day, it would be another 4%. So that way, we'll have an addition of 4% on daily basis only during the tender period delivery period. Next. Next. Anil, Meera, can you move on to the next slide, please?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, can you see me? Can you hear me? Pinakin?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
So now, as I said, exemption from the tender period and delivery period margin in case during the tender period and delivery period, margin will be released on receipt of the commodity paying by the seller through collateral management system towards the paying obligation. But however, ICCL, the clearing entity, will continue to collect the margin, mark-to-market margins from the seller. After the expiry, delivery on any tender period, the paying of the commodities can be done by 5 p.m. except for Saturday, Sundays, and public holidays. And accordingly, on the expiry, all the positions shall be marked for delivery. So delivery paying will be on the expiry day plus one basis. That is, say 30th is the expiry. On the first itself, the delivery has to be there in the warehouse, approved by the exchange. The seller has to ensure that. And funds paying on expiry plus 2 or any tender period plus 2 days, it has to be, the buyer has to ensure that the funds are made available till by 11 a.m. Funds payout will be done on the same day by 5 p.m. and delivery payout will be done on expiry plus 2 or tender plus 2 by 5 p.m. Next. Anil, next. Anil, Meera, next. All the allocation will be done as per the mechanism put in place by the ICCL, and delivery marking on the respective tender days will be done after the end of the day, and all the outstanding long and short positions will be marked for delivery at the expiry of the contract. So for example, say on the 30th or the expiry of the contract, if any positions are open on the buying side or on the selling side, it will turn out into deliveries. Now, in case if the seller defaults, there is a penalty of 3% of the settlement price plus replacement cost. Now, this replacement cost is nothing but the difference between settlement price and the higher of the last spot prices on the commodity payout date. So, whichever is higher will be imposed accordingly, and the seller will be penalized. And the penalty will be divided into three parts. 1.75% of the settlement price shall be deposited in the Settlement Guarantee Fund of ICCL. Up to 0.25% of the settlement price will be retained by the ICCL towards the administration expenses. Sorry, and 1% of the settlement price plus the replacement cost will go to the counterparty or the buyer who was entitled to give the delivery or receive the delivery. Over and above the prescribed penalty, ICCL is deemed to take suitable penal or disciplinary action against any intentional or willful delivery default by the seller. Buyer default is not permitted. So once buyer is marked with the deliveries, he has to take the deliveries. He cannot refrain from taking the deliveries. Next slide, please. So delivery order rate is again the settlement or closing price rate on the expiry day of will be the delivery order rate. So all the deliveries that will be marked will be as per that rate. Taxes, duties, and levies at the time of delivery, buyer has to pay the GST in addition to the delivery order rate or the final settlement price. Odd lot treatment is not applicable. So in case if there is an odd lot, you cannot deliver. It has to be there in the multiple of 10 metric tons only. Warehouse, insurance, and transportation charges, it has to be borne by the seller up to commodity payout date, and after, it has to be borne by the buyer after the commodity payout date. So till the payout of the commodity happens, the seller has to borne it, and after the commodity payout happens, the buyer has to bear it. Buyer's options for lifting of delivery. Buyer will not have an option of choosing the place of the delivery and will have to accept the delivery as per the allocation made by the ICCL. As I mentioned earlier, the delivery center will be at the Raipur, and there is no additional delivery center. Delivery of goods, each delivery shall be in the multiples of delivery lots and shall be designated for only one delivery center and one location in such center. So as there are no other additional delivery centers, it would only be Raipur. Deliverable grade of underlying commodity. The selling members tendering delivery will have an option of delivering such grades as per the contract specifications. Premium and discount for the additional delivery grade, it is not applicable as we have not kept any premium discount. And legal obligation, every member delivering and receiving goods through the collateral management system by way of delivery shall provide appropriate tax forms wherever required as per the law, as per the and as per the requirement of the states. Next slide, please. Uh, these are the rules that are laid by the ICCL. Again, in terms of the taxation and as I mentioned earlier, GST and everything has to be borne by the counterparty. Next slide. Next slide. So this was a brief on what the contract specification and the delivery and settlement procedure is. Before we move on to the session, today we were also expecting our Chief Business Officer, Mr. Samir Patil, to be a part of the event, but due to bad health, he could not join in. So he has conveyed apologies to all the participants and all the panelists on his behalf. So I apologize on his behalf for not being able to make it today. Thank you, everyone. Now we move on to the next panelist, Shri Nikunj Bhai Tunekia, to brief us on what steel industry is all about and how price discovery can be made with the steel futures contract that can be launched on the BSE. To you, Nikunj Bhai. Thank you.
A very good afternoon to all the attendees here and the panelists. And thank you very much, Pinakin, for a wonderful presentation. Let me begin with saying that, I hope everybody is safe at home. And since the lockdown is now getting unlocked, I think it will be much more difficult, for everyone. So be very, very careful. Let me say that I want to, convey my big thank you to the wonderful Bombay Stock Exchange team, especially the CEO, Mr. Ashish Chauhan, Mr. Samir Patil, Pinakin Dave, Anil Rangwani, Meera Krishnan, and everybody who has been instrumental in bringing this dream into a reality. Of course, I am thankful to them to select Steel Users Federation of India as their partner to bring the steel futures into India, which I'm sure are going to be a great game changer for the Indian steel industry as we move forward. I also want to thank the SUFI board as well as especially Shri Hemant Parekh, who has been extremely instrumental. And he was the person who brought non-ferrous metals futures onto MCX platform and then BSE platform. Now they are doing it on NSE. And he was also instrumental in SUFI and BSE joining hands together. I would fail in my duty if I mention two individuals who have been very instrumental on the products group, whereby we could, formulate this contract. Special mention should go to Shri Chirag Shah of SPM Steel and Rajiv Vyas, of course. The question here is, why do we need steel futures in India? As we go forward, today we are at 110 million tons. The government of India has laid down a roadmap, we all know, for 300 million tons by 2030. Of course, I don't know whether how far that would be achieved looking at the present situation. But we all can agree that the Indian steel industry is maturing. It is matured a lot, and it is maturing, and there are a lot of consolidation which is happening across the board, whether it is manufacturing, whether it is user industry and trade segment. Now, when there is consolidation, when the market gets matured, we need a tool. All the participants, all the stakeholders need a tool such as steel futures, so that they can hedge and the risk is mitigated. This tool is extremely transparent. Person can with a small trader or a small broker or a mill, across the board, the whole spectrum can participate, and they have the same kind of trading power. So it is completely transparent. And what else do we need more than having a Bombay Stock Exchange platform to do so? We all know that steel futures are being traded on a very, very big way in China, and we need to take a cue from them. We need to learn, and of course, it gives stability to the market. It gives direction to the market. Today, lot of decisions are taken based on what is happening or what is going to happen in steel future. So same situation will come. I'm sure that in India also this will grow. This segment will grow phenomenally, and the whole idea is that each and every stakeholder, whether mill or the OEMs and the trade segment, can take full benefit of this, so that they know what is the way forward. They know how to mitigate their risk. Of course, when we introduce something like this, there are a lot of apprehensions also, where people feel that there could be speculation, so on and so forth. But the contracts are on delivery basis. We presently have one stock point which is at Raipur, and we will add few more stock points, so that as we move forward, and it will become more and more. There will be more and more ease of doing business on this platform. When Pinakin was making this presentation, I'm sure a lot of people will have a lot of issues on or questions on delivery and settlement procedure. Let me make it, that it is not so complicated, although it looks a little complicated, but because we don't know much about it, so it looks a little complicated, but it is not complicated. And once you understand it, then it'll come into the system. Once again, I welcome all of you, and let us have a healthy discussion on this. Thank you very much, Pinaki.
Thank you, Shri Nikunji. Now we move on to the next speaker, Mr. Hemant Parekh. So, Hemant bhai, can you please share some insight on how non-ferrous
Sure.
metals industry has been able to take the benefits of the futures markets, and how they will able to mitigate themselves against the price movement or the price volatility?
Sure, Pinakin. Thanks, Pinakin, and thanks, Nikunj bhai and Mr. Sandeep ji. I am the person who introduced in non-ferrous metal like copper, nickel, zinc, tin on 2004 in MCX with the help of Jignesh bhai. Jignesh bhai introduced me as a in MCX also, and now I also introduce in BSc as well as NSC also. NSC also. और इसमें मैं एक ही चीज कहना चाहता हूँ कि ये दिस इज अ वेरी बिग प्लेटफॉर्म. आज आपको इधर भी मटेरियल सेल करना है तो कोई पार्टी को रेफरेंस लेना पड़ता है, या इसमें माल सेल करने के बाद पेमेंट आएगा नहीं आएगा कि क्या है वो वी डजंट नो. तो बीएससी में अगर आपको सेल करना है, यू कैन डिलीवर दिस मटेरियल on 24th, 25th or 22nd of month, and you will get your fund. You will get your payment on or before first or second date of every month. और इसके अंदर एक बहुत we are just sharing my experience in non ferrous metal, copper, nickel. We started on 2004. वो टाइम पे भी सब लोग का ऐसा ही लग रहा था कि ये सट्टा है, दिस इज जस्ट स्पेकुलेशन. हम लोग का नया जनरेशन सब ये इसमें स्पेकुलेशन में वो लोग डाइवर्ट होंगे. तो हाउ कैन वी एक्सेप्ट दिस प्लेटफॉर्म. लेकिन आज बिलीव नहीं करेंगे कि आज के तारीख में एवरी डे मोर देन एक मिनट, मोर देन 74 करोड़ का सिर्फ टर्नओवर हो रहा है एल्यूमिनियम में पर डे. और कॉपर में 840 करोड़ का टर्नओवर हो रहा है पर डे. और हम लोग ने बीएससी में डिलीवरी बेस चालू किया सितंबर महीने में. तब बिलीव नहीं करेंगे, पर मंथ हम लोग का एल्यूमिनियम में डिलीवरी हो रहा है 754 मैट्रिक टन पर मंथ, और कॉपर में डिलीवरी हो रहा है 2297 मैट्रिक टन पर मंथ. दिस इज, ये जो आपको सीनियर बता रहा हूँ वो मई 2020 का है. और अप्रैल में एल्यूमिनियम में जो डिलीवरी हुआ है 502 मैट्रिक टन का. ऐसे ही कॉपर में 1582 मैट्रिक टन. और कॉपर में भी जो टर्नओवर हुआ है 840 करोड़ का। मीन्स आप बिलीव करेंगे कि ये जो प्लेटफॉर्म आप यूज करेंगे स्टील में भी बहुत बड़ा इम्पैक्ट इसमें आ जाएगा कि भी आपका मटेरियल सेल करने के लिए कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होने वाला है इसमें। दिस इज माई पर्सनल व्यू एंड मेरा मेरा पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस भी है नॉन फेरस मेटल में। हाँ, अभी आप जैसे आरटीओ आपको ड्राइविंग लाइसेंस दे रहे हैं और ड्राइविंग लाइसेंस लेने के बाद आप ड्रिंक एंड ड्राइव करेंगे तो इसमें गवर्नमेंट कुछ करने वाला नहीं है। सेम वे अगर आप इसके अंदर बीएससी में भी आप अगर आप पार्ट लेते हो मटेरियल डालते हो लेकिन कोई कोई स्पेकुलेशन करे तो इसमें बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है। इसलिए स्पेकुलेशन नहीं लेकिन हेजिंग के हिसाब से आप करेंगे। और आज हम लोग का जो कॉपर में बड़ी बड़ी इंडस्ट्रीज है पॉलीकैब गिनो या आरआर केबल गिनो सब लोग सब ये प्लेटफॉर्म अच्छी तरह से हेजिंग के लिए यूज कर रहे हैं। तो ये एक बहुत बड़ा टर्नओवर के बेसिस में भी आपको कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है एंड दैट यू हैव टू एक्सेप्ट। आज अमेजोन या फ्लिपकार्ट भी जो आप एक्सेप्ट कर ही रहे हो उसके थ्रू भी आप मटेरियल मंगा रहे हो तो इसमें ये बहुत अच्छी तरीके से इसको आप टूल में यूज कर पाएंगे। थैंक यू पिनाकिन जी। पिनाकिन जी
Thank you, Hemant bhai. Thank
Yeah.
you very much for the brief insight on how the industry can actually come out and mitigate their risk. Now we have a veteran speaker, an eminent speaker from the industry, Shri Rajiv Vyas. So may I request Shri Rajiv Vyas to come and give some insights to all of us on the steel industry and how hedging this platform can actually be beneficial to the actual steel. Shri Rajiv Vyas.
Thank you, Pinakin, and welcome to the participants, and thank you, my co-panelist. It's been a humongous effort by BSc and SUFI to launch this futures in billets. And let me answer the first question: why SUFI and BSc, or why BSc and SUFI? BSc invokes three words: trust, reliability, and a humongous technological backup. And SUFI brings on board the domain knowledge of steel. So it was a very perfect wedding to bring steel futures on BSc platform, and we are thankful to BSc for giving us this opportunity. Coming back to steel, currently during the lockdown, a wonderful thing has happened to Indian steel. In the first month, the Indian steel production went down by about 70%, and then there was a flush of orders from China, and Indian Steel Mills started ramping up production back to 70%, 80%, and almost coming back to normal in the month of May and June. Now, how this happened is based on the China futures market. Every single day, we would start our day at 7 in the morning, 7:30 in the morning, check what was the China's future market, and talk to the big wigs of Indian steel like JSWs, the Tatas, the MNSIs, the sales, and book our orders with them. Many times we felt that why not we have an Indian exchange who can direct us, who can guide us, who can be a barometer to what is going to happen to steel. And here we are today on the pre-launch session of Billets Futures launching. Going forward, I am very sure that as me and Nikunj and our fellow board members on SUFI have planned, we will have hot roll coils, hot roll plates, perhaps some other downstream products on this platform. And that will give you a very nice insight into the price movements for the future. It also becomes a purchase manager's guideline as to where the prices are moving, so that tomorrow or day after tomorrow, after a month, when he takes a decision, neither the purchase manager of a steel company, a steel user company, nor the export manager of a steel company is hammered by his senior or his management that he undersold or he oversold or he overbought or he underbought, because he will have a reference point. He bought on X day, and that day the steel SUFI futures or SUFI BSc futures were X, Y, or Z, and that gives him a great deal of comfort. As Hemant Bhai already said, this is not a speculation, and from very first day, we want to make it clear that this is not a speculation, a speculative platform. This platform is comfort, ease of doing business, and new way of doing business. Sitting in the comfort of your home today, we all are sitting in the comfort of our home and having this seminar. In the same way, you could perhaps conduct your business in future, sitting at your home, opening the screen and see what is the price movement and how does it move. I'm extremely sure that the dynamics of steel trade will change with the launch of futures in India. Why do we have to go to China's futures market? Why do we have to go to LME for non-ferrous products? Why do we have to go to CME? Why do we go to SGX in Singapore? Why do we go to Shanghai Metal Exchange? We should also refer to Bombay Stock Exchange. We should refer to India futures on steel. And this is also a reflection of what our Prime Minister say, Atmanirbhar. And towards our Atmanirbharta, this is a very humongous effort by Sufi and BSc, and I compliment my fellow members on Sufi board as well as the humongous effort put in by Samir Bhai, Pinakin Bhai, Meera, Anil, and the CEO of BSc, Mr. Ashish Chauhan. And believe me, it was not an easy going. I mean, in hindsight, you might find that it is not a great deal, but as the presentation put in by Pinakin had a lot of effort, lot of humongous efforts from several people, the experts, the legal experts, the financial experts, steel experts, the BSc experts, the SEBI guidelines had to be followed. So the whole procedure and the whole system has been has been put in place with a lot of diligence, lot of inputs from various sectors. And I'm very sure that going forward, we are open to fine tuning this system because this is the first time ever that a steel futures is being launched. We need all your good wishes, all your participation, all your suggestions as to how to improve them and how to make the basket wider. Because uh, today, as I mentioned in my earlier remarks, that India is today a net exporter of steel. The coronavirus has done one good thing about steel is India will emerge as almost a 10 million ton steel exporter during the financial year 2020-21. As of now, as we are sitting here in the first week of June, I guess India's exports must have touched about 3 to 4 million tons. And going forward, June, July, August bookings, as I see, you will have another 3 to 4 million ton performance by the steel mills. And contrary to the purchase managers' pressures, currently our export managers are under pressure to see that they have determined the right price because each transaction size is pretty big. In couple of days down the line, a couple of weeks down the line, if the prices move up, in hindsight, he feels that he undersold. But no, a steel futures gives him a guideline. A steel futures, whether it is China, whether it is India, whether it is Singapore, gives him a guideline that whenever he or she sold the tonnage was at the appropriate price and at the right price. So I'm very sure that this is a great initiative for the steel industry. And Sufi has worked on a philosophy to bring steel users federation, but it also take care of the steel producers as such. We have ensured that there's no conflict between the steel users and the steel producers. And that is where Sufi has a winning horse. I'm very sure going forward, we will have the blessings of all the big names in the steel industry in India because we bring on board nothing less than BSc and BSc's trust, BSc's reliability, and the technological backup. And small baby steps which are being taken now will turn into a giant move in a couple of years down the line. I wish all my fellow panelists all the very best. Thank you for your great effort. Even for organizing this webinar, there have been a couple of trial sessions, a lot of brainstorming, and things have worked out very well for Sufi BSc and BSc Sufi. And before I conclude, I hope that the momentum as prepared as done by the steel industry in India will be maintained. And we at Sufi are always happy to help the steel mills fraternity, the steel users fraternity, the steel service centers fraternity in whichever way we can. Our basic goal is to protect the steel fraternity as such. We are not at all dividing between the steel producers or the steel users. The name may sound, but going forward, possibly if things permit us, we may change the name to Steel Federation of India if God permits, if the situation permits us. And I'm sure Nikunj is smiling. We will have to re-christen our name as such so that we represent the steel fraternity across the board. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for all your support, all your guidance, all your inputs. And thank you, Bombay Stock Exchange, for your wonderful, wonderful help and initiative in launching this product. We are at your disposal at Sufi as well as individually. And whichever way we can make it a success, it will happen. I guess one request I could make on behalf of the steel fraternity is this technical presentation which we have presented today. If it can be shared on mail with our steel people, that will be of great help. And also maybe going forward, some regulatory mechanism can also be shared. That will also be of great help. So keep keep your hopes alive. We soon shall go live on Bombay Stock Exchange. And once again, my compliments, my congratulations to the entire team and every single panelist, every single person who has contributed to this fantastic cause. Thank you very much.
Uh,
It's over to you, Pinakin.
Thank you, Rajiv ji, for the insight and for the suggestions. As suggested, presentation will be definitely shared with the stakeholders, and we are definitely there to discuss it. And at any given point in time, whatever is required, we will do. Taking it ahead, we intend to do this series of webinars before the launch.
Pinakin, your audio is not clear, Pinakin.
Hello? Is it audible now?
Yes, better.
Yeah, better. Yeah.
So, thank you, Rajiv ji, for the insight, and the presentation will definitely be shared with the stakeholders. And as I was mentioning, we intend to arrange the series of webinars uh, before the launch so that the awareness is spread in the right way and for the stakeholders in the right fashion so that they can come ahead and take the maximum benefit of the price discovery and the hedging that they can benefit out of it in managing their inventory and their businesses. Uh, Coming to the session, we have certain questions. So, Meera, can we have the question answers? The questions?
Hello.
Yeah, Anil, can we have the questions, please?
Yeah. We have this first question. It says, can you discuss about quality testing of steel?
Yes. So, as mentioned in the circular, we have already laid our specifications in terms of saying also, and very soon the draft of the policy also will be released in terms of the entire mechanism specifying the way of testing and the lab as well of how the testing will be done and who will be the authorized agency to assay the steel that will be delivered. So very soon we will come out with that as well. Before the launch, it will be out short.
Okay. We have a second question.
Mhm.
That is there only one delivery center as Raipur, or there are chances that there can be multiple
As
delivery centers in the future?
Rajiv ji also mentioned, as Nitin sir also mentioned. So initially, we are going ahead with one delivery center as suggested by the product working group or the stakeholders. But we are ready or open for the discussion again. And based on the deliberations and suggestions received, we can add other delivery centers also as and when required.
That's all we have till now. So, dear participants, if you have any questions, feel free to put it into the chat box. We'll reply them.
If anyone has any questions, kindly click on the chat box and you can put your question there so that we can do justice to it.
So, we have got a second question. Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it compulsory
No, we can't hear you, Anil. Anilji.
Anil, we cannot hear you. Anil, can you repeat the question, Anil?
Yeah, I repeat. It says, is it compulsory that a material should only be from BIS?
No, Anil, we cannot hear you.
I repeat again. Is it
Yeah.
compulsory that a material should be only from BIS certified mill?
Yes, it has to be. It is mandatory as per Steel Quality Control Order. It is mandatory that it should be as per IS 2830 or 2831. One cannot trade or stock or deliver anything which is out of the purview of the.
Okay. Okay, sir. We have a next question. It says, how cost effective will it be to deliver material on the exchange platform?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take this question. As far as cost effectiveness is concerned, it would be very cost effective. And when BAC comes in, we also intend to make it much more easier and better for the trade. So in other commodities that we had launched, we had given many liberations as well in terms of relaxations in the warehousing charges, relaxations in various other charges. But I can assure you at this point in time is that it will be very cost effective, and it will be in the means for everyone to participate on it.
If I can add to Pinakin's answer, cost effective, it will be in terms of price, it will be very price transparent. So first battle you win is on the transparency of the price. You get the best possible price, and as in rest of the things as Pinakin mentioned, you will have the efficiency of the system. So you'll have naturally the benefit of cost advantage. Thanks.
Absolutely right.
Okay. We have a next question. It says, will you do BIS testing or just spectrometry test?
No, let me take that question. So basically, the delivery, whoever is delivering the material, they need to supply the material as per specification, so as per test certificate, and we will have an independent agency like SGS who would be, certifying that everything is okay. So any violation cannot be permitted there, and the buyer can also check these mills test certificate and then take the delivery.
Okay. We have next question. Yeah. We have next question. It says, from where we take the spot prices of a steel billet in future for reference price?
So
Yeah,
spot
Pinakin?
prices, yeah, I'll take this. Spot prices will be, so we have appointed a third party vendor, which will be pulling the spot prices on daily basis, twice a day. And
Pinakin, your audio, Pinakin, I'm interrupting you. Audio is not clear.
is it audible now?
Now it is proper.
So we have a third party which will do the polling of spot prices on daily basis twice a day, and they will pull the prices from the spot market. And in turn, we have our own mechanism. So we take the spot pulling of more than 20 participants, and then based on the base prescribed needs, we come up with the spot prices. Again, this is a very transparent method to derive the spot prices, and after that only it is displayed and it is taken into consideration for the settlement also and for the futures also.
Okay. So we have a next question. It is for Pinakin. It says, are there any options available along with futures?
So currently options are not available in steel. So we have only futures available from the steel contract. So maybe later after the success of the futures, we can hope for the options as well.
Okay. That's all. We have a questions from the participants. No more questions. Yeah, one more question that we have received is buyer will get a SGST bill or IGST bill.
So again, as I mentioned earlier also, that the buyer has to take the registrations of the Raipur, and before taking the delivery itself, he has to ensure that he has the GST details of the of Raipur. So all the taxes pertaining to that will be between the buyer and the seller. So we have our designated center at Raipur, and any taxes that is any material that the seller is delivering has to ensure that they comply with the local GST for both the buyer and the seller.
Okay, that's all we have till now. No more questions, sir.
Still wait for 2-3 minutes, no?
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Though we have got a request like, can you send the PPT on this email address? Okay, we got the next question. Why not have a steel ETF in future?
So this is just a beginning. We have introduced futures right now, and maybe to add the entire ecosystem, we'll add more products as well, and various other ways and means to hedge. And coming days, we might see the light of ETF also, based on the approvals of the regulators.
I would like to just mention here that I am really thankful to BSE to give the name to the contract as Sufi Billet, Sufi BLT. This is a huge achievement for, I would say, Indian steel industry on the whole. And this contract will go into the history as the name, Sufi Billet. So Sufi Billet will remain forever. So thank you very much, Bombay Stock Exchange. And of course, as Rajiv also mentioned, as going forward, we will introduce more contracts, more products on this platform. And I am sure that it is going to be a game changer.
So I really want to thank you each and everyone for attending the session. All the panelists, Shri Nikunji, Shri Rajivji, Shri Bhai, my colleagues for organizing this, and big thank you for all the attendees for attending it, and looking forward for more participation in Steel Futures when we launch it. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.